I'm back. My name's Devin and I'm with Rising Tiger. Today we're gonna make soft shell sandwiches. Personally, my favorite. Again, today we're gonna do really classic Maryland style soft shell crabs. We're gonna do a flour, egg, and then we're actually gonna bread in cornflakes. It's lighter, it has more crispy edges for it to fry up. And I personally like to do a cast iron soft shell. I feel like a touristy thing is actually deep fried. The soft shell tempura or really heavy breading is just hiding that delicacy again. So more crispy, crunchy bits. And I think it's more flavorful than just plain breadcrumbs. So if you wanted this to be gluten-free, you could do rice flour, egg, and cornflakes. We're gonna serve it between some tartar sauce, bread, and some shredded lettuce and tomato. Soft shells are when crabs molt. If you can't find them fresh, the next thing you can do is actually find them frozen. You can always find it at an Asian grocery store. Or you might have some luck and get it at your favorite sushi restaurant. If you do get them frozen, the first thing you need to do is slowly thaw them in your refrigerator. That's gonna be the safest way. As soon as they thaw, you're gonna rinse them under cold water. And you'll wrap them like this. That's gonna extract all the moisture out of the crab. And then this is how you can store them. You have about 1 to 2 days. These will go bad very quickly. Please do not play the game. Don't gamble. If it smells bad and it's slimy, get rid of it. Shellfish can really hurt you if you're not paying attention. The reaction of water and oil is gonna be very vicious. So you wanna minimize that risk, right? We don't want to grease fire. We're doing this at home. We wanna be as safe as possible. These guys are tiny, for sure. These are tiny. Yeah, I would do 2 for a sandwich. If you get a big one, you're probably in Maryland or Louisiana, but Maryland is better. First off, we're gonna do our breading station. So again, flour that's been seasoned, a little bit of salt, a little bit of white pepper, egg wash, egg and water. That's just mixed together. 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of water. Cornflakes. Cornflakes are just, again, seasoned with a little salt, and then I just crush them all with my hand. 1 dry hand, 1 wet hand. So I like to just do all my dry first. So we'll just go ahead and get these evenly coated all around. And also, the drier the crab is when you put it into your dredge, the more it will actually adhere to the dredge, if that makes any sense. So get everything, random claws and everything, right? We don't want to waste anything. So again, from here, we're gonna dip it into our egg wash. Make sure this is completely submerged. I'm gonna dump it in here. Make sure everything is completely coated. And it should look like this. Well, now you know why they call it a spider roll, right? It looks like a little porous spider. You know what the king of the rolls are? Classic California. That's my favorite roll, which is probably obscene because I worked at really fancy sushi restaurants. The combination works very well, right? Even if it's a fake crab like Connie or you use fresh crab. Fresh crab is very good, but real crab California roll, that's delicious. 10 out of 10. And then we'll bread these up. And it's not gonna look like you've got all this breading on top of it. And I think that's another reason why I like cornflakes, right? Because if you wanted something that's really breaded and fried, you're gonna eat fried chicken. You're not gonna eat a soft shell crab. Like you want to be able to feel the crab, the individual legs that are fried to get, fried up, the claw, the sweetness and everything else. You want it to work in harmony, not against each other. So now we have our breaded crabs. And then from there, we're just gonna clean up and then rework our station. We're gonna start a pan with about a 1/4 inch of your favorite frying oil. Excuse me. I'm using olive oil. I like to taste better. And I'm gonna use a fat knob of butter. When I say fat knob, probably 2 tablespoons, right? So we're gonna preheat that. We're gonna do that about medium-high heat, right? Once our butter has melted, our oil looks nice and hot, we're gonna add our soft shells. And remember, we're gonna add away from us. Did you see that? That's nice and hot. And just make sure you don't overcrowd the pan. We're gonna do 3 at a time here. And now this is gonna pop up. Just be mindful, right? One way while you're cooking your soft shells, one way to see if they're ready to turn is how sturdy they are. So if you were to pick it up from the back, and you see how everything kind of stays straight, that means it's ready to turn. And you can also kind of look at it like a pancake. You can kind of see all the bubbles start to cook around and form around the crust around the sides. That'll also help you know if you're ready to flip. And generally, soft shells cook fairly quickly. So this is probably going to take, in total, about 4 to 5.5 minutes. While these are cooking, we're going to get some paper towels so our sandwich isn't as greasy. We have our bread, our tartar sauce, lettuce. You could use whatever lettuce you want. You could be fancy. I prefer not to be fancy. So good old-fashioned iceberg for that nice crunch. We're just gonna break all this down. We don't need to toast the bread. That's my personal pet peeve of people making soft shell sandwiches, is them toasting the bread. Why do I want hard bread with my already crispy soft shells? No need. Why fry the soft shell? Bread, our nice shaved lettuce, some tomato, lemon. So now we'll go back to our soft shells. As you can see right here, it's extremely sturdy, kind of doesn't fall. Nice color on each side. So these 2 smaller ones are ready to go. This guy right here, it's a little thicker, so I'm gonna let it go a minute or so. And this is why you want your paper towel ready to drain. Again, we're gonna add this guy here. So as soon as they come out of the oil, we're gonna hit them with a little bit of salt. Anytime you fry something, as soon as it's fresh out of the oil, you want to add a little bit of salt. It'll season it. 2, while it's still hot, it's gonna stick. So as we wait for our other soft shells to cook, we're gonna start to assemble a sandwich. 2 pieces of bread, a generous amount of tartar sauce. Generous. Both sides as well. We're gonna put our lettuce on one end. You know, I would say there's no wrong way to assemble a sandwich, but I'd lie. You want to make sure everything is covered, so when you eat it, you get a bite of everything. So our third soft shell is about done, or is done now. Pull that out. You can season this guy. All we have left to do is put it together. I like personally when all the legs and claws are kind of sticking out, you kind of know what you're eating, right? So I kind of position it like that on purpose. Some people would say add a little bit more lemon. And from here, we're just gonna flip it over. No diagonal cuts, just straight down the middle. And then you have that. That is a soft shell sandwich. No, I think like I said, there's kind of 3 ways to do it. I prefer the cast iron, or we're using non-stick today, right? But the cast iron skillet, I think it depends on the degrees of crunchiness. It sounds as silly as that, but from there, you know, you can do like a shallow fry, which is kind of what we're doing. A pan fry, which would be a little bit more oil, and then a full deep fry. But other than that, definitely fry them. Dude, this is bomb. You can't trust those New Orleans guys. Right, Chris? So you always have one wet hand,